The night before the invasion did not feel like victory. It felt like the world was holding its breath. On the dark, choppy waters of the English Channel, thousands of soldiers prayed, trembled, and waited. Once the sun rose, they would become either heroes or ghosts. This was the precipice, the final moment of calm before a storm that would change the world forever. But the real storm wasn't just made of bullets and bombs. It was a storm of lies, crafted to perfection. We all know D-Day for the gunfire and the beaches, for the incredible bravery shown on the sands of Normandy. But that's only half the story. The real invasion, the one that guaranteed the success of the landings, began long before the first soldier touched the sand. It began with an illusion, a grand deception designed to fool one of the strongest and most ruthless armies on Earth. This wasn't just about overwhelming force, it was about outsmarting an enemy who believed they were invincible. The Allies had to win the battle of wits before they could ever hope to win the battle on the ground. At the heart of this deception was a single, powerful assumption held by Adolf Hitler himself. He was utterly convinced the Allies would attack at the Pas-de-Calais. It was the most logical choice. Geographically, it's the closest point between Britain and France, a mere 21 miles across the Channel. Attacking there would mean shorter supply lines and quicker deployment. So, Hitler ordered it fortified into an impregnable steel fortress, lined with the best artillery, the most seasoned troops, and the deadliest panzer divisions. Normandy, by comparison, seemed quiet, safe, the last place anyone would logically expect a full-scale invasion. And that was exactly what the Allies were counting on. To deceive the Nazis, the Allies staged the greatest theatrical performance in military history. They called it Operation Fortitude, and its stage, the rolling hills and quiet coastlines of southern England. The goal was simple but audacious: convince the German High Command that the main invasion force was gathering opposite the Pas-de-Calais, and that the real assault was yet to come. This wasn't just a minor feint. It was a full-scale production involving thousands of personnel, fake equipment, and a level of detail that would fool even the most skeptical German intelligence officer. It was a bluff on a global scale, with the fate of the free world hanging in the balance. To pull this off, the Allies built an entire fake army. Across the English countryside, they deployed legions of inflatable tanks, which from the air looked identical to the real thing. They constructed wooden aircraft and placed them on dummy airfields. They erected empty tents to suggest vast encampments of soldiers. And to lead this phantom force? None other than General George S. Patton, a commander the Germans respected and feared more than any other American general. His very presence in the southeast of England was the ultimate confirmation for German intelligence that the main attack would be led by him, aimed squarely at the Pas-de-Calais. He was the star of a play the Germans didn't know they were watching. But the deception didn't stop on the ground. The most brilliant part of Operation Fortitude was happening in the shadows. A sophisticated network of double agents controlled by British intelligence fed Germany a constant stream of false intelligence. The most famous of these was a Spanish double agent codenamed Garbo. He was so trusted by the Germans that they awarded him the Iron Cross. Garbo created an entire network of 27 imaginary spies, all reporting on troop movements that didn't exist, confirming the buildup of Patton's Phantom Army. These whispered lies, passed through coded messages, were more powerful than any tank. They painted a picture of an impending invasion at Calais that was so convincing, the Germans couldn't see the truth. The invasion was originally set for June 5th. But on that day, the English Channel raged with violent, unpredictable storms. The waves were too high, the winds too fierce for any amphibious landing. A delay was a nightmare scenario. Every extra hour gave the Germans more time to discover the ruse. Postponing could mean losing the element of surprise, and perhaps the war itself. But that same storm played a crucial role. It convinced German commanders that no one would be foolish enough to attempt an invasion in such treacherous weather. They relaxed their guard, believing they were safe for at least a few more days. It was a blessing in disguise. Then, at dawn on June 6, 1944, a small window of calmer weather opened. The order was given. The largest amphibious invasion in human history began. As the landing craft approached the shores of Normandy, the illusion gave way to brutal reality. On beaches like Omaha, chaos erupted instantly. German machine guns, hidden in concrete bunkers, tore through the air. Mortar shells rained down. The sea ran red. It was a vision of hell on earth. And yet, through the fire and the fear, the soldiers pushed forward, climbing over their fallen comrades, driven by a desperate, unwavering resolve to take the shore. As the battle for Normandy raged, German commanders across France hesitated. Their powerful panzer tank divisions, Germany's deadliest weapon, stayed put, miles away near Pas-de-Calais. They received frantic reports from Normandy, but the intelligence fed to them by agents like Garbo was so effective that they believed it was all a diversion. They were convinced that the chaos in Normandy was just a feint, designed to draw their forces away from the real invasion site. They waited for Patton's army, the main event they had been tricked into expecting. And so, the tanks that could have crushed the Allied landing sat idle, waiting for an attack that would never come. By the time Hitler and his generals realized the truth, it was too late. The Allied forces had clawed their way off the beaches and were already breaking through the German defenses, pushing deeper into France. The beachhead was secure. The door to Europe was being forced open. The war was shifting, irrevocably. Victory on D-Day began not only with the incredible courage on the beaches, but in the shadows, with a web of lies, a ghost army, and a masterful trick that played on the enemy's own logic. History rightly remembers the courage of the soldiers who stormed those beaches. But sometimes, courage needs a path cleared for it. D-Day was not just a battle of steel and blood. It was a gamble of minds, a contest of deception against assumption. And on that fateful day, the Nazis never saw it coming. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this look into the secret side of history, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories you were never told in school. See you next time.